Mikey A, you are a big part of Stupidity. You are a big part of Stupidity. We'll be rebranding that soon. We'll be doing it from brand new studios. We're very excited about it. But you would agree with me that Adnan Virk, in terms of Stupidity, which was the biggest podcast in the world at one point, and it will be again. It was bigger than Oprah, and it will be bigger than Oprah again. Yeah. I don't think it's Oprah, by the way, now. It's bigger than Rogan. It's what you got to say. But, Mikey, you would agree if there was a Stupidity Hall of Fame, right? Adnan Virk would be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Easily. Adnan Virk is easily a Hall of Fame Stupidity guest. I'm trying to decide who the other ones are. I mean, Tom Brady, obviously.
Yes, Tom Brady. We had him right off the golf course. We had him on twice, actually.
I'm trying to think of, I mean, if you take out the usual characters, the Mikey C's, the Gojos and stuff, I'm trying to think who else would be in the Stupidity Hall of Fame.
You're a first ballot Hall of Famer. Stanzik's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Mikey C is certainly a first ballot Hall of Famer because if I say he's not, we'll hear from him. Yeah. Gojo is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Adnan is a first ballot Hall of Famer. You've thought of someone else, haven't you? Frank Caliendo, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Easily. L. Duncan. First ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer for no other reason. Even though she was wonderful every time she came on, but for no other reason than the duet with Mikey C.
Oh, fantastic. We have to play some of the best clips from past Stupidity episodes when we get to the final episode of Stupidity, hopefully this week. We'll see. But listen, the reason I bring up Adnan Virk is because Adnan's going to join us here in just a second. Mm-hmm. And I love talking to Adnan, but Mikey A, I am going to ask him, I don't know if you saw this, okay? But at one point before the French Open started, Adnan's a big, big tennis fan, okay? We've had Adnan on the show while he's watching matches played by Roger Federer because he's on hashtag Team Federer, all right? Yes. And so Andy Murray, who in any other era would be one of the all-time greats, okay? It was Murray, Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, suits, Roland Garros, nice watches, all together at the same time. Do you think Adnan, you know he watched it, right? That's a lot.
Of course. That's not even, he probably collected some of the clay and he brought it home. That's beyond for him. That's his,
Do you think he cried?
That's his Augusta.
It is his Augusta.
I know he cried. The question is how much.
All right. So if I told you just straight up, because you would agree the odds would be even, Adnan Virk crying during that little ceremony,
no, right? You're losing money. You're losing money.
What? Really? Crying would be like minus 180?
Minus 210 at least. Adnan cried looking at those four guys on a tennis court. Adnan Virk cried.
All right, so you're saying it's a lock. All right,
it's a lock.
So the only reason we'll talk Stanley Cup with Adnan, we'll talk some baseball with him as well.
Sure.
But the only reason I wanted him on was for you and I to place a bet. I agree. He cried. He bawled like a baby. Will he admit to crying, Mikey A?
Of course he will.
Admit to it.
Adnan is.
Do you think he was wearing Federer gear? Do you think he was wearing Roger Federer gear?
He was absolutely wearing something Roger Federer, and I just thought of this, and you're going to love it. We're going to play One Gotta Go with those four. With Adnan. One got to go.
He's going to choose Murray. Yeah, Murray.
He's got to choose. Well, he's definitely, we know he's not going to choose Federer. That's a given. But do you think he'd choose Nadal?
Can I give you a suggestion? He's going to choose Murray. So narrow it. Say we've already decided we're kicking Andy Murray out. Okay.
So he's got to get rid of
narrow
Nadal
it down to 3. Yes. Get it down to Nadal and Djokovic, okay?
2 gotta go. 2 gotta go.
2 gotta go. We changed the game. Adnan Virk, a Stupidity Hall of Famer. Did he cry? Next. Adnan Virk is with us. Before you came on, Adnan, me and Mikey A, we placed a bet. We'll get to that bet in just a second. But B, we wanted to congratulate you. You are a first ballot. Now, Stupidity only has a few episodes left.
Okay.
But you, my friend, are a first ballot Stupidity Hall of Famer. How about that?
We did it, Stu. We did it. I thought I was coming on the pod because another Birthday Buddies edition. You and I, of course, July 29th birthdays, along with your brother. But to be in the Hall of Fame, I don't care what Hall of Fame I'm involved in. Stupidity Hall of Fame, we go way back. Me and Mike A, the days of me, him, and John Clayton. Unbelievable. Going back on ESPN Radio, John Stashower, of course, and me and you, Stu, go back to you outing me as a guy who dresses up as Roger Federer when I'm watching Federer matches. I'm sure we're going to discuss a little.
We'll get to Fed in a minute.
But God bless Stupidity. Listen, I love the pod. It's always been great, irreverent. Of course, our buddy Dan Stanzik. You know I love the book. I'm supporting books everywhere. I've got my own book coming out. I know you're going to promote it for me, but I loved you and Dan Stanzik's book. Fantastic book. Should have been a New York Times bestseller, quite frankly, but regardless, Stupidity lives on forever.
Thank you. And you do have a book out. I'm very proud of you. Tell people about the book. Cinephile, your podcast. I love what you did here. It's like Greg Cody said, hey, you know what? I'm going to write a book and put all my back in my days, but it's a written word. So, what are you doing with Cinephile in the book?
You're 100% right, Stu. For anybody who says, look how hard it is to write a book, it really isn't, quite frankly. And I learned from you. I said, Stanzik wrote your book, slapped your name on it. It was great. It was all your great takes, and Stanzik, revised them. I go, well, I can do the same shit. I mean, quite frankly, I'll just do a transcript of all my best interviews. So here's Mahershala Ali, here's Miles Teller, here's Robert De Niro, here's Margot Robbie. That seems pretty straightforward. I'll slap a little intro and outro. Hey, what are their top 5 movies? Couple of stories from the red carpet. Here it was like at the Oscars. Bam, we got 300 pages. So August 12th, the book will be out. And a shout out to Greg Cody, by the way. It's his publisher, Mango, which is in Miami. Thank you to Hugo. Apparently he's a fan of mine. He's obviously a huge fan of yours and the whole Levitard Army. I know you and Stanzik had pitched him on your book as well. So thank you to Hugo and Mango Media. Cinephile, the book, coming out August 12th. A retread of the podcast, but if you love the podcast, you'll love the book.
Essays, interviews, and tales from the red carpet with Adnan Virk. I'm going to take all of my my restaurant reservations. Mikey, let's make a book out of it, okay? Let's do it.
If I get that Stanzik money, right? I'll do it. If I get that Stanzik money, I'll do it.
Yeah, I know you will. Adnan, we wanted to have you on, and we'll get to the hockey pod and the Stanley Cup in just a second here, but Mikey A and I were talking right before you came on the air. We did place bets. We both bet that you did. Put us where you were, okay? Put us in the room. Put us inside your head, okay?
Yeah.
When Murray, Djokovic, Nadal, and your boy, Roger Federer, and for people who don't know, Adnan is part of a group on social media, hashtag Team Fed, I believe it is. Put us where you were when the 4 of them got together. They were wearing suits. They had nice watches. There was Nadal's kid high-fiving the other 4, all 4 of the greats. Where was Adnan? Put us inside your head.
So it was really tough to kind of control my emotion. I felt like I was out there as well. It was like an out-of-body experience, like being John Malkovich, being Adnan Virk. I'm there. I'm at the Roland Garros right now. I'm with the red clay. I know Billy was kind of mocking these guys a little bit, how they look now. I mean, I think that's mainly a shot at Rafa and his receding hairline, but hey, it happens to all of us. It happens. Yeah. But I thought Roger looked unbelievable. I mean, as dashing as ever, modern day James Bond. I mean, nobody, Stu, wears a suit like my boy Fed. I just thought he was so classy and so elegant. Murray looks a bit like, Murray's funny. I wouldn't quite say he's Ringo, but like of the 4 of them with the Beatles, Ringo kind of, he stands out a little bit. Murray's not quite to their level. And Djokovic, of course, nobody likes him. He's like kind of the asshole of the group. Like he's incredible talent, obviously, but no one really loves Djokovic. People just love Fed, and they love Rafa more than anything. So it was a nice reunion to have all those guys together. And quite frankly, I weeped a little bit. I'm not ashamed to admit that with you. I got a little, I got a little emotional.
We lay the odds at minus 210. I mean,
as I was watching, I got a little verklempt, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm a grown man, 46-year-old man, weeping just seeing these 4 greats together, particularly Roger there. It was unbelievable." And thank you to mentioning Team Fed. Andrew Brandt is a charter member of that. Carolyn Cameron from Sportsnet, Steve Weissman as well, old colleague and friend of ours at Tennis Channel. So Team Fed lives on, and I'm an emotional wreck.
Were you with Andrew Brandt?
I thankfully wasn't with Brand, but I love the fact that you called him on social media at the time. He was shirtless and posted that picture. And it was completely unnecessary. He looks great for 60, but credit to you, my friend, for calling it out. I'm like, somebody has to point out, why is Andrew Brand shirtless right now on social media? And by the way, Matthew buried it the other day as well on Instagram. I go, why is this guy enough of these NFL insiders / executives / fancy guys going shirtless? Come on. Belichick started the trend. Actually, no, Brand started the trend, then Belichick did it, and then we got Matthew Berry shirtless.
Yes, but Brant can do it. Barry Belichick cannot, to your points. I mean, Brant is ripped. He's jacked. Did you at least communicate with Andrew Brandt as the whole thing went down? Yeah,
I sent him a message right now. I said, "Are you as emotional as I am?" And he's like, I can't even type the letters right now. Like he had the tears. Like it wasn't just like, I was emotional. I was choked up. If you'd called me, I couldn't have had a conversation. But like the pools of moisture so deep in his eyes, he can't even type. That's how emotional Brant was watching that scene. It was incredible. But also, I want to put out in your book, you're right. The French Open, by the way, a bit of a lark. Speaking of larks, like
Yes.
this is a bit of a joke.
Thank you.
Like, let's go ahead and who the hell, Stu, ever grew up and said to themselves, I'm going to dominate clay? Like what? Carlos Moya,
Right.
Gustavo Kuerten, like it's a joke of a tournament. Really all that matters is Wimbledon and the U.S. Open. Even the Aussie Open wasn't a major until 1980. Who gives a crap about the Aussies? And then playing tennis, right? So it's really just Wimbledon, U.S. Open. So Federer's the greatest of all time. French Open, kind of a joke of a tournament. I love that take in your book.
Okay.
Thank you.
Put me there. I need to know this. So the four guys, they're on the court. You're crying, ugly crying snot. You're holding Andrew Brandt's hand. You guys are weeping together. Put this moment in the pantheon of.
Are you dressed in a Federer outfit or no? Are you hold on, Mikey. Are you dressed in a Fed outfit?
Yes.
Where are you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, you got to parlay that with the crying to make money.
Right. And I thought to myself,
all right, so Mikey, now
I thought, should I just wear a nice suit? Federer's, and I said, no, I got to wear the Federer outfit. I got to wear the headband. I've got the racket in my hand. I'm pantomiming as if I'm hitting a forehand. It's just awfully embarrassing, but I had to do it.
wait, you were going to wear a suit and a Rolex? Like that's what you were thinking?
Exactly. Actually, let me mimic what I'm seeing. I go, I can't do that. I don't have a Rolex.
No.
I'll just be a schlub.
All right. Mikey, I'm sorry about that.
Okay,
Set it
no,
up
it's
again
okay.
because I know what you want to ask, and it's a great question. Yes.
So this moment is happening. You're crying, snot bubbles. You and Andrew Brandt are holding hands. He's shirtless. I see all that. Now put this in the pantheon of moments in Adnan Virk's life. Like, where is it? Like, your kids are born. You marry your wife. Like, where is this moment in Adnan Virk's life?
Well,
Top
even
three.
with marriage to my wife and my kids being born, still number one was when Roger beat Rafa at the Aussie Open 27.
Yeah.
That was
that
was the greatest moment of my life. I mean, I was up at 3:30 in the morning, Mikey A, without an alarm clock. Like, I just woke up ready to go. I'm like, yep, it's time. And I went right downstairs and watched it. And Roger beats Rafa in 4 sets. This was at a moment where everyone said, Roger's done. He'll never beat Rafa again. And Roger beats him in a major. Like, it was such an incredible triumphant moment. So that's still number one. This moment, I mean, listen, it wasn't like Roger's final match was emotional again. I mean, that was up there. The greatest match ever played, him and Rafa at Wimbledon, him beating Roddick at Wimbledon. Essentially, this is probably about number 6. As far as great moments of my lifetime, it's ahead of any of my children being born. It's ahead of marrying my wife. Just to see Roger on a tennis court, probably I'll put it at number 6.
I love you. This is why he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
This is it. Exactly. All right.
Totally true.
All right. We got to play a little game before we move on from this.
Yes.
Those 4 guys, Murray, Djokovic, Nadal, Rafa,
Yeah.
2 got to go.
Yeah, easy. Murray's gone. Djokovic is gone. Djokovic.
I thought there might be a little Nadal, Djokovic. I mean, we knew
Mikey,
Rafa was
you don't
playing.
understand. If Federer was never born, if he never existed, he would be dressing like Rafa. Okay.
There's no question about that. Stu is absolutely right. 100% right. Roger and Rafa, I mean, that is like milk and cookies. There's nothing better, man. That's a genuine rivalry and a genuine friendship. Those guys love each other. Djokovic is the one prick of the group. He's gone. And Andy Murray, hey, come on, you're not quite the quality of these guys. We just needed a 4th. That's where Andy Murray's like, how do we run out the group? Okay, we need a 4th.
Yes.
All right, well, Andy Murray's here. All right.
That's why it was 2 got to go. Because if I gave you 1 got to go, it's too easy.
Could have made it 3. Well, 3 it would have been Federer standing there, right?
I really should have.
But Andy Murray plays. It was bad timing for Murray, Adnan, because he plays in any other era, and he's probably the best of the group.
That's no question about it. I mean, Murray was a guy.
Yes.
It's forgotten now how talented he was, and I wonder, Stu, if that goes like how often that plagues him, right? Like, I'm an all-time great player. I had the misfortune of playing with these guys who were the greatest of all time. Like, it's crazy. If he was playing in the early '80s or before Federer really got rolling, post Agassi, post Sampras, maybe he could have squeezed in a few more majors, but that's the way it goes.
Think like Barkley, Olajuwon, Drexler, Stockton, Malone. At some point during their careers, they said to somebody, "Fuck, why'd we have to play when this guy was playing?"
Well, one of my kids asked me, he goes, why has it been 50 years since the Knicks have won a title? They've had great teams. I go, Jordan, if you just get Jordan out of there, you get Olajuwon out of there. Knicks have won like 4 championships in the last 20 years. Completely different story.
I sense a personal record book in your future. I like this.
I love the personal record book. I'm going to start doing it for all my teams. I love it.
I already took out the French. You take out the Australian. We're good. I mean, it's yours. You can have it.
Back to Mikey A's point. 2's got to go. French Open's gone. The Aussie's gone. It's Wimbledon, the U.S. Open. That's it. Think of it.
Adnan Virk with us. He has a hockey podcast, NHL Unscripted, Stanley Cup Finals are set. We'll get to that in a second. Do you think Canada hates Sunrise, Florida?
Oh, my God. Well, I've been crying listening to you guys, just mocking, even your hilarious comments about Toronto and Igloos. And I mean, listen, it's amazing to think how passionate Canadians are about hockey, and I can speak to that firsthand. And to see Sunrise, Florida as the center of the hockey universe, it is absolutely driving every Canadian bonkers. And the only solace is that, well, look at all the Canadians on the Florida Panthers, and Canada's still a great team. We still won the Four Nations. Okay, but you're right. Ultimately, you want to win the Stanley Cup, and this is now 6 straight years of a team from Florida in the Stanley Cup final. It's crazy. A Canadian team has not won the Cup in 32 years, as you guys know. The Montreal Canadiens back in 1993. If McDavid and the Oilers don't get it done, more egg in their face. I can't imagine a worse fate for most Canadians than the Florida Panthers and Sunrise being the center of the hockey universe. Crazy story.
Have you been to Sunrise, Adnan?
I haven't been. I've been to Miami many a time. I have not made it out there. I still want to get to a game at some point. Roy Bellamy has promised me first-class VIP treatment. Me, and Billy Lindsay together. It's not exactly South Beach, though, right, Stu? I've heard you speak about it enough. That Sunrise is,
no, it's funny because I asked Sean McDonough this the first time he came to Sunrise. Did you think you were coming to some sort of oasis like in South Florida? And he said he did. He thought there would be a beach right there. And I said, when did you realize there wasn't a beach? And just car dealerships and a mall.
Nobody dreams of going to Sunrise for a Stanley Cup final or on vacation, but alas, here we are.
What would we do with the Panthers, Adnan, if they win the Stanley Cup, right? Because you mentioned Connor. We'll get to him in a second. But if the Panthers win this Stanley Cup, that's 3 cups, 3 years, 2 Stanley Cups back to back. What do we do with this group of players, this team, in terms of talking about them as they stack up against the all-time greats?
It's so hard, Stu, because you get to a point where everyone's just saying, well, they're a modern-day dynasty. Well, hang on a second. To me, 3 or more is a dynasty. I don't think 2 out of 3 years is a dynasty. But to your point, if you look at the number of teams that have made 3 straight Stanley Cup finals since 1980, your beloved New York Islanders did it, of course, 4 straight years. Yep. Oilers did it, of course, in the 80s as well. And the Tampa Bay Lightning did it. That's it. There's only 4 teams that have done that. So are they a true dynasty of what we think in the past of Lakers or Celtics or Oilers or Yankees? Well, no. But are they an all-time great team? Potentially, yeah. I mean, to make it in this salary cap era where it's tougher as ever to win with all the challenges they've had to remake their roster on the fly, to still have this team in the Stanley Cup final, I think is special. If they win, it's awfully impressive because you do not see teams go back-to-back. Right? In baseball, I haven't seen a repeat World Series champion since the Yankees back in 2000. So it's rare to see in any sport a team to go back-to-back. I think if Florida ends up winning it, if not a dynasty, they certainly belong on a special level, especially as road warriors. They've scored 5 or more goals in virtually every road game in the last 8. Away from Sunrise, they're unbelievable. It's a hell of a team, and for many people, they're the favorite. It's going to be fun to watch.
What's the reaction if McDavid doesn't win the Cup?
Well, here's the interesting story is this. It's that Gretzky, after falling to your Islanders, they came back the next year and the Oilers won. So he learned how to win, so to speak.
Correct.
Crosby and the Penguins, same thing. They lose in the Stanley Cup. The next year, Crosby wins. So to follow this narrative, if McDavid thinks he's Gretzky or Crosby, hey, I lost the Stanley Cup final. I came back like a bull in a china shop. And if he wins the Conn Smythe again, which he's in line to do, 6 goals, 20 assists right now, he joins Select Company, Bernie Parent, Gretzky, McDavid. There's like a handful of guys that have ever won more than one Conn Smythe. But to your point, you lose. I mean, ultimately, he can be out of his mind and carry this team as he has done for much of this playoff run. But if they lose, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. And I interviewed him earlier in the year on Amazon Prime. He's a dour guy, Stu. Like most of these hockey guys come in, they're polite, they're affable, they don't give you a lot, but they're, not McDavid. He's glum. He looks sour. He just wants to win the Stanley Cup, and that's until he does, it will drive him and keep him up at night. So if you're a Connor McDavid hater, if you are Greg Cody right now, you're hoping to see McDavid with some egg in his face and lose, because I can't imagine what his reaction will be. Mick overrated.
Is it fair to say, if he doesn't win this, that you cannot put Connor McDavid in the top 5 Edmonton Oilers of all time? Because I can give you 5 that are better, who have won cups. I mean, Grant Fuhr, Murray Curry, Paul Coffey, Mark Messier, Wayne Gretzky. Okay?
There's the 5, yes.
He was so excited to give you that list that he wrote last night. He was so excited to give you that.
I love it. And Stu,
I wrote it 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. OLI, Glenn Anderson, I want to throw him in there as well. Charlie Huddy, all-time greats. I mean, you're right. I mean, you got to win the Stanley Cup eventually. I cannot hear this. What best player to never win a cup? Are you kidding? No, you got to win it. And this is his moment. You got to seize the opportunity. I don't care how well he plays. You're right, Stu. He's got to win that cup to be a top 5 Oiler. Period.
Have you been to Edmonton?
I have. I've been to Edmonton twice this past year, and they call it Dedmonton for good reason. The Cleveland of Canada.
Okay.
God, to get there from
you answered that like it was unfortunate that you've been there.
Oh, no questions too. I've been there 2 times too many. Let's be honest. I mean, I
Okay.
in fairness, I think once to go just to say you've been. Again, my brother grew up an Oilers fan, so I mean, just to be able to have 2 connecting flights, I go pick him up a jersey. Okay, great, I was here. The rink is actually great. If you're a hockey fan, Rogers Arena is awesome. The fans are great, and it's really been refurbished and well done. But there's nothing to do there, dude. I mean, the only thing worse in Edmonton, quite frankly, of NHL cities is Winnipeg. I mean, the peg is just awful. It's where dreams go to die. So thank God the Jets did not make the Stanley Cup final, but I feel for the media. That's going to be a tough travel. Sunrise to Edmonton. You're going northern Alberta in June. Dicey.
Yeah. I can give you one city that's worse than both of those.
Hang on, let me guess.
Sunrise, Florida.
The ranking of the worst cities: Sunrise, Florida, Winnipeg, and Edmonton. Mikey, we need a 4th one to join that list. We need an Andy Murray to join this list now.
I know Sunrise sounds nice. I promise you. It's not all that it's cracked up to be.
Imagine Sean McDonough, our dear friend. Listen, the guy has been the legendary voice of so many great moments. The World Series, 92-93, college football. Also, he's calling the Stanley Cup final. This is his moment. This is his dream. And then he sees Sunrise, Florida. And he goes, what? Is this a joke? Like, pull back the curtain. This is awful.
I think he told me the first time he packed, he brought a bunch of bathing suits. I said, for what? You got a pool in the hotel?
The La Quinta pool.
La Quinta. I love it.
Oh, my God. Cinephile, essays, interviews, and tales from the red carpet. Before we get you out of here, buy the book wherever you buy your books, okay? A couple of authors here cutting it up. I like this. Who would have thought? Best team in baseball.
Oh, best team in baseball.
Wait, I'm sorry, I cut you off there, Adnan. What were you going to say? I said a couple authors cutting it up. Go ahead.
I was going to say on the topic of books, I have a couple questions for you. One, I talked to Hugo.
Yes.
Apparently, there's going to be a book signing for me in Miami. So, I need you and Mikey A to show up, please, and just coach me. How do you get through a book signing? What do you do? How long do you catch on the repertoire? Obviously, you sign whatever they want. Like Pete Rose, I'll just sign it. Hey, I killed JFK. Adnan Virk. Thanks for buying the book. Whatever you want. Like, I don't give a shit. Tell me what the book signing. I mean, you must have done a few of these. How do you do it?
Sounds like you figured it out already, by the way.
Yeah, you got it. You bullshit your way through about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You give them a little show, a little dog and pony show, and then you just grab a Sharpie and you sign the hell out of them. Do you want me and Greg Cody to join you? We'll sign books as well. You want to make it a threesome?
Oh, my God, dude. If we do that, that would be incredible. That would absolutely help sell books and make my experience that much more enjoyable, much more preferable than being in Sunrise, Florida. In Miami, I'm coming. You and Greg Cody show up in August. I will love you guys forever. Quick book story. Speaking of tennis, Andre Agassi's book, Open, which is one of the best sports books you'll ever read.
So good.
He's in Mississauga, Ontario. It's been an hour from where I live. I go down there. So, oh my God, Andrew Agassi, I can't wait. Hour and a half wait. You get to the front, and I go, Andre, I got to tell you, he just takes the book, as you said, total pros for signing. I go, hey, that match against James Blake US Open, one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. And all he does is he signs it and goes, it's in there. I waited 90 minutes for that. It's in there. Okay. Thanks so much, Andre. You changed my life.
So good.
That's awesome.
That's a book signing.
Yes.
It's in there.
Yes.
All right.
Mikey, yeah, you were getting upset because I said me and Greg will join you. I shouldn't volunteer Greg's time. I will volunteer my time, though.
I love that you're volunteering your time to make some money. But my question is, Greg Cody's book, Adnan Virk's book, Stugotz's book, one got to go.
Oh, my God. Well, it's obviously Cody. Are you kidding? Me and Stu are inseparable here. Come on. When's going to go? Who the hell reads Greg Cody's
Same birthday.
The only person that actually wrote one.
I mean, I'm on Team Fed. I mean, come on, man.
I'm terrified, though, Stu. When he started saying the number of books we have to sell, because I did not get an advance. Unlike you in the stands, it's like, oh, my God, this is pay to play. Each person is going to say, can you give me a free book? No, you have to buy one. I'm getting $3 on Amazon for every book being sold. Please buy my book.
You charged your kids, didn't you? I mean,
4 kids, thank God. All right, let's another $12. Keep this thing going, boys. Let's go.
But can I get a book?
Do you guys walk around and grab your kids' phones and have them subscribe to the podcast you're part of?
Oh, without question. I'm like, NHL Unscripted, Virk and DeMers. We need all the listeners we can get. Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe again. Whatever we need to do, we'll make it happen.
Rachel called me one time from Northwestern and asked me, Dad, why the fuck do I keep getting episodes of Stupidity?
You're welcome.
I'm like, support your dad. Come on.
I don't care about
I travel 1,000,000 miles for these games. Oh my God. Adnan, before we let you go, best team in baseball is who?
It ain't the Dodgers, even though they kicked the crap out of the Yankees 18-2 on Saturday night. The two best records right now are the Cubs and the Mets. How about your Metropolitans? Unbelievable story. Soto's yet to get going. He's got a 792 OPS. By the way, Mookie Betts is a 742 OPS. For all the crap we're giving Soto, Betts is having a clearly worse year than Juan Soto. Lindor is unbelievable. Alonso's having a great season, and the pitching's been a pleasant surprise. I'm going Mets and Cubs right now, tied for the best record. Cubs have an incredible offense, not much pitching, but they can hit like the wind. Suzuki's obviously a great PCA MVP candidate, but your Mets, man, something special cooking right now in Queens.
I agree. Mikey A, upset you left out the Yanks. He is, I know.
Absolutely not. I was more upset he left out the Tigers right now.
Tigers are a great story. Turek Skubal, Jeremy Taché is all in on the Tigers, and they've got a legit offense right now. Riley Green's become a star. Torkelson bounced back here, along with Javi Baez. Yankees, by the way, Mike, I did a very long essay on MLB Network about how good their starting pitching has been, and then Will Warren goes out there and just completely craps the bet on Saturday. Prior to that, though, their rotation alongside Fried and Rodon, Yarbrough has been amazing for them, the former Ray, and obviously Clark Schmidt's very good as well. So I love Booney. Yankees are class, certainly the AL East, which is a surprisingly bad division right now, but yeah, Tigers look really good in the AL.
Has Adnan been thrown out of any baseball games, Little League games lately?
I haven't recently, although I gotta say this. So there's my son Shaz is 8 years old. It's half kid pitch, half coach pitch. So the coach pitch too, like it's 40 feet from the mound when the kids are pitching. But if the coach pitch, you just go in there and lobbing the ball. And as I'm doing it, I hear some chirping from one of the dads, and I kind of like, I'm trying not to get distracted. But I look over and all I can hear is this older man's voice. What's he doing? What's he throwing the ball like that? And I hear their coach go, well, that's just how he's doing it. And I'm like, this fucking asshole, this old geezer is out there chirping me for just lobbing. These are 8-year-old kids. So I'm incensed, but I'm going to hold it until the inning's over. And then my guys bat, and I go back at their pitch again. And like a heat-seeking missile, I went right over this old bastard. I go, you got something to say to me, Chief? He's like, huh? I go, you got something to say to me, Chief? He's like, what? I go, the reason I'm throwing like this is because it's coach pitch. There's no rules on coach pitch. You don't have to throw from a mound in coach pitch. The intent is for the kids just to hit the ball. Okay, so I'm lobbing it in there like this. All right? Next year will be kid pitch. The whole time. We can all be Roger Clemens out there and throwing strikes. Is that okay with you? He goes, what are you coming at me for? I go, because you were making fun of me and chirping me while I was out there on the mound. I didn't need to hear it. Zip it. And then I turn around, walk back, and I hear him say, don't you come at me like that. Don't you come at me like that. Stu, what are we doing? How am I being chirped for coach pitch? The people think it's a better.
I love it.
New Jersey. It's unbelievable. I was insane.
No, Little League parents are crazy, man. They're crazy. They are absolutely. They ruin the entire experience. But Mikey, get the chirper on the show. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. just tell the geese. Just wait till next year when his kid is walking 13 guys and you're there for an hour and a half to play one inning. Okay, let's wait till then. All right. Be happy you're going to see some swings.
Stu, you knew this with Rachel and the lacrosse. It's like every year, especially as the coach, you go, okay, either I'm going to have kids who are difficult and unresponsive and annoying, or parents who are overbearing. Which of those two are you taking? Because you're not going to get a perfect score. Generally, I find I'll take the kids who are annoying and disobedient. I'll deal with that. The parents, screw it.
They're kids, right?
Okay, they're kids. I can get these 8. I get it. He's hungry.
They're supposed to be those things.
The whole parents are the worst. God, I was going to murder them.
Oh my God! Do you know this guy? The guy that you almost got into a fight with? Do you know?
No. But it's funny because he's the dad. He's the grandpa watching his grandson. His kid is the coach of the other team, and he seemed really nice. So I was worried at the end of the handshake line. I was like, maybe I went a little aggressive. I thought, like, hey, were you yelling at my dad? So I was a little bit of trepidation. But no, the kid is nice. But I still have this fear, like it's a small town I live in here. It might seem, hey, did you go up my dad? I'm like, I did actually, yeah. Your dad's a prick, and I told him off.
Off air, give Mike. Do you know the name of this person?
I don't know the name. No, I don't.
I need you to dig a little bit, do some research, because we want to get him on the pod and talk about. I have Adnan throwing the old number 1, like 97 miles per hour. That's what I would do.
I was so pissed at this guy. I swear to God, I don't care. You're 72, Grandpa. You're going down. I was going to pull a Pedro Don Zimmer on him. Just spin his head around.
Quick story for you. So my kid is playing travel ball, and because a umpire didn't show up, they asked me to umpire the game. And I got to tell you, I have never been so scared in my life. I have been on air coast to coast. I've been on television. I have told people to shut up. I've cold called professional athletes, and I've never been so scared as to ring up a 9-year-old kid at a travel game, because the parents are insane.
No, to your point, Mike, we also this year did not have umpires. So the coaches, they'd be the umpires. And I looked at my assistants. That's what they go, no, you're doing it. I go, okay. I got to be honest. I'm with you. A couple of times I thought I might have missed a call, but I would kind of look at the other coach that came in. Feel free to you make it up on your end, right? We're calling a big zone here. But I kind of got into it because I started imagining I was like Leslie Nielsen in Naked Gun.
Yep.
And I started getting flamboyant with the strike calls. And eventually, I'm doing the moonwalk, especially when it was my kid striking it. I got like, oh, who the hell is this asshole on here? Who's this umpire? Originally, I was like, ah. Even I'm calling strikes before the guy hit the ball. And the third base goes a little early in that strike call there, Chief. I go, sorry about that. Just as excited.
I gave one kid a got him.
The couple offense is great. I gotta incorporate that. Got him. Oh, showboating.
He's punching his own kid out, and he's charging him full price to buy his book. That's why he is a Stupidity Hall of Famer. Cinephobe, essays, interviews, and tales from the red carpet. Also, check out the Hockey Pod as well. NHL Unscripted. Adnan Virk, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Congratulations. First ballot Hall of Famer, my friend.
I appreciate it. I think of all the honors of my life, this might be even better than just watching Roger Federer in a suit alongside the other three horsemen. Hall of Fame. I'll take it to the bank. You guys are the best. Love you always. I'm going to go find that old geezer right, for this podcast. Go toe-to-toe with him.
We're going to find him, and we're going to get him on.
I love it.